Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another channel of Life by the Fly. Today we're tying a lively Legz copper john on a jig hook. I'm getting ready to do some Euro nymphing, so this happens to be one of my all-time favorite patterns. So pretty heavy pattern, gets down pretty quick. Fish seem to like it. I think it's a little bit because it looks a lot like a stonefly and it's kind of bright, but let's go ahead and get started. Now, the hook I'm putting in my vise today is a Kona barbless jig hook, size 14. And on top of the head of the fly is a tungsten bead 7/64 in size 14. The thread I'm using is Aviva's 10-aught in black. So let's go ahead and coat the thread, coat the hook. I always say that backwards. And snip away your thread. And you want to go back with your thread to about where the barb of the hook would be. And your next step is to go ahead and get some goose buyouts. I've got this in rusty brown. That's my favorite color to use for this pattern. And you want to get one out of the pack and take this. As you can tell, they come on a long stem and there are a bunch of little tiny sections. So what you want to do is you want to take it, if you pull down on the back section, it'll separate, and you want to yank two free from the stem. This next step is a little tricky sometimes because goose bites are very hard to work with. So what you want to do with the curved side of the goose bite pointing up, you want to measure out to about half the hook length. You want to grab it and pinch that in. And yes, I do tie mine in one at a time. I think it makes it easier to control, especially since they are slippery. So I'm going to do the same thing. Goose buyout, half the length. You can also at this point measure against the other tail and go ahead and tie that in. And then go ahead and secure both of those down. And at this point you can go ahead and snip away the excess goose buyout. As you can tell, they are splayed apart, and they're going to look really good as a tail. Now the next step is I have loaded into a bobbin that is meant for wire. I've got some ultra wire and copper. You can use small, bright, you can use medium depending on the size of the hook. Medium is to me a little big, but I'm going to go ahead and tie that in if I don't trap my bead. I'm going to go ahead and tie that in and secure it down and get right at the tip of my tail, and I'm going to come all the way back up. Now I want this to stop about an eye length from my bead, and then I'm just going to wrap it. Now with this, you want to take your time. Make sure you're doing nice, even touching wraps and paying close attention to how your wraps are touching. And just kind of take your time wrapping up the body. And as you can tell, it'll come along. And if you kind of come up and point the bobbin back a little bit and come back down, it generally will create that touching wrap. And it's not the greatest, but to me, if you don't really need it, it's gonna kind of get in the way. Now the next step is just kind of wiggle and break free your thread, your lead. Come back over top of your copper wire a little bit, and you're going to use what's called thin skin. This is thin skin. It comes in a pack. It's a very long sheet of this sticky type long thing. Makes great wing cases. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to cut a small section out of it. I would say about 1/8 of an inch is good. And this is going to be your wing case for your fly. And on the back of it is this white protective like cardboard, and you want to go ahead and peel that off. It's easier if you have fingernails, but you want to peel that off, and what you're left with is this sticky like material, and you want to tie that in on top. And you definitely want to make sure this is sitting on top. As you can tell, it's sitting on top. You want to kind of pull it over, take a look, make sure everything looks okay. And when you pull it over, you should see that it's sitting directly on top of the fly. So, all right. Now, with some Wonder Wax, I'm going to go ahead and coat my thread, and I'm going to get ready to put in some dubbing. I like Magnum dubbing, and I like it in Firecracker. I think it makes a great pattern. It's got a little bits of blue and like it's black. It's got a little bit of bits of blue in it, a little flakes of red. And you don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. And you want to create a nice, tight dubbing noodle. And that's what the wax is going to help you with. And you're going to go ahead and start building your abdomen. And it don't have to be a very bulky abdomen, but I kind of think that it should just be kind of like a thick point. But so this is why we call it a lively Legz copper john. We're going to use lively Legz and black and small. And this is what they look like when they come in the pack. I will leave a link to where you can get this. It's by a company, I think they're out of Pennsylvania. They are a wonderful company. They're very awesome to deal with. And this product is amazing. So what you get is 6 legs, but as you can tell, that's pretty much the whole length of the fly. So what we need to do is trim off the back set of legs. So here is the front 2. You want to trim off this back section. So just carefully come in and give it a snip. And you should be left with 4 little legs and a tag. You do want to keep that tag in place. So you want to lay that down, and that tag is what you secure it by. And you want that those legs to be touching the copper bead. And we're going to go ahead and secure this with another tight little dubbing noodle. And now this one, you just be real spares, because it does not need to be much. This is just to secure the legs down in place. So you're going to come up, go between the legs. I go behind one of the legs in the back, secure it, and then come back up, and then I go in the front again. Then I go ahead and I pull this tag up and snip it free. Now this part is can get a little tiresome, but you stretch this, you stretch that thin skin and you pull it over top, and you go ahead and secure it in place. If you trap one of your lively legs, just come in with something sharp and reach in there, slowly wiggle it free, and it'll come out for you. So now that it's in there and secured, get a tight wrap. You want to do about 2, maybe 3 on top. Pull it back, do 2 in front, and it should be secure. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pull this up nice and stretch it, pull it up, and snip that off. And then you should be ready to go with a whip finish. So just take a whip finisher and go ahead and whip finish it. Be careful not to trap your legs. Go ahead and whip finish it off, and ink your legs free, and you're done. You've got a lively legs copper john. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I will write any videos out there. Leave any questions or comments in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you got some advice, I would like to hear it. I'm always learning every day, just like you would be. And I'll catch you later. Bye.